Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here to review the final episode of Queen's Court. Queen's Court Season 2, episodes 6 through, 10. I basically just binge watched it, y'all. I was trying to slow walk it. I was trying to do like Michelle, and slow burn it. But after a while, I just said, let me power through it. And what a disappointment. What a disappointment that you sit here for 9 episodes, 10 episodes, and in the end, they don't choose anyone. I know that Delicious chose someone, but she didn't really. She just chose a one-night stand, a two-night stand, a 1-month rendezvous. She didn't really choose anyone for love. She chose her sex interest. But the other ladies, K. Michelle and Lisa Marie, didn't choose anyone. And at first, I wasn't even going to do a review. I said, why waste my time on a review if they really didn't choose anyone? I don't want to go through and talk about a bunch of men that they didn't even choose. But then I thought about it and I said, well, what really is the bigger story? Is the bigger story the men or is the bigger story the women? And in the end, what I decided was the bigger story was the women, because it was actually the women who decided to be these queens on this show. And what these ladies told us that they were going to do was that they were going to look for love, and they hadn't had luck in love. And this is what a lot of people say out there. They say they want to have a relationship. They want to be in a relationship. They want to get married. They want to do whatever, have a partner, whatever it is they say they want to do, but they haven't had any luck. And what these ladies did is the classic mistake of most people who have had bad luck, and I'll just call it bad luck, but bad outcomes. Let's say that, because it's not really luck. It's bad outcomes in the dating world, but yet they want something different. And the common mistake that they made, all three of them, they all made the same exact mistake, is that they thought that the reason why they had the bad outcomes was because of the men. And it was because of the men, that the men were the bad outcomes. And then they thought the second mistake they made was that it was because of the men that they chose. That was also because of their bad outcomes. You have a lot of people who have bad outcomes, bad relationships, and they say, I'm going to choose a different man next time. I'm going to choose a different man, because I've chosen this same type of man. This is what all these ladies are saying. And now I'm going to choose a different type of man. And that's what's going to change my outcome. Well, the problem is, ladies, you came on a show to try to choose a different type of man. But in reality, you chose a different man, but you came into the relationship being the same old woman. Hear me one more time. You chose a different man because that's what you thought was going to be the unlock. But you came into the relationship being the same old woman. So we're going to break down how they did that. I mean, in a synopsis, I can just tell you this, that London doesn't want to be viewed as the sex vixen, but she led with her body the whole time. She wanted a different man who didn't just want her for her body, but yet what she did in the relationship was present her body constantly to these men. Constantly. Different man, same behavior. K. Michelle calls herself a self-confessed slow burn because K. Michelle is traumatized. K. Michelle is fearful of being hurt and dating. And K. Michelle has probably been hurt in the past by black men. That's who she dated. And so what she changed up was, I want to date a white man because she has associated with black men all the pain. And so now she thought, I'm going to now date white men because that's really who K. Michelle was looking to date on the show. We're going to talk about this. I'm going to date white men because white men symbolize safety to her. They have not hurt her yet, you see, because she didn't really date them too much. So they were symbolizing safety to her initially. That's why she went after the Chris's and the Zachs initially. And then she ended up with this Ben fella. She was choosing the white men because they were representing safety to her. But in the end, she showed up to the relationship the same old person, which is the slow burn, the person who doesn't give herself. So in a lot of ways, what K. Michelle is trying to say is, I stopped opening up because what, you were burned? Probably not. You probably didn't open up from the very beginning and you were still burned. And so now what you think is, I can still not open up in a relationship, get to know a person and not get burned. Well, if you're not opening up, he ain't going to open up, which means you never get to know the guy, which is why you get burned on the back end. But she is associated getting burned with black men. And she is associated with the safety is a white man. And so she chose a different man, but she came the same way, which is the slow burn, the not sharing of herself. And because she doesn't share herself, she doesn't know, she can't use discernment because she doesn't know much about the guys either. She kind of is more like a lot of people who say a lot of people who become gay, they become gay because they've been sexually assaulted or traumatized by men. It's not as if they don't like men. Initially, they didn't. But after men doing them wrong so much, they decide, hey, I'm tired of being dogged out by men. I just want to date women. And they go on and they become bisexual or lesbian because they associate safety with a woman. It's not even really about sex. It's about their emotion, safety. And that's what K. Michelle has been trying to do with these white men. And then you have Lisa Ray. Same situation. Bad outcomes. So what Lisa Ray decides is, I'm going to come on this show. And in the past, a lot of my bad outcomes have come from men who are loud. And when I say loud, not loud with their voices, but they live out loud in their life. They're men who she's decided she has to have money. Money is the number one priority in Lisa Ray's life. The actual number one priority. I don't care what she tells me, that she just wants to be able to live this great life. Money is her number one priority. She came on this show to date men whereby maybe maybe in their own right, they did have some wealth or they were doing very well for themselves. But Lisa Ray showed up the same type of woman, which is who has the most money. Okay, because in the end, that's what she was battling. And did that person have enough money that she felt that she could feel secure? Because in Lisa Ray's life, her world, money is her security. You see, all these ladies were dating for security. And amongst all these ladies, security was represented different kind of ways. Lisa Ray, security is absolutely represented in money. That's what she equates with security, is money. And it doesn't matter how much she has, she needs more of it because she needs more security. What woman, in Lisa Ray's world, she says, who wouldn't want more security? Right? Which means who wouldn't want more money? You always need more money to feel secure. And as much as she wants to say that's not what she's doing out here, that's exactly what she's doing. Security, like I said, from K. Michelle, is feeling safe and secure in the relationship. And no matter how much you tell her she's safe and secure, she never feels that way. It's an empty cup. Lisa Ray has an empty cup of money. K. Michelle has an empty cup of security with feeling safe with the man. And unfortunately, Delicious has an empty cup of feeling safety with a man by his desire for her, his lust for her. And unless you show a lot of lust for her and the wanting of her body, she doesn't feel loved by you. I know she tries to say she's a people pleaser, but she's a people pleaser with her body. So let's get into it. That's just a little bit of an intro where we're going to go with this, what we're going to talk about. But we're going to look a little bit more at each one of these ladies, not only why they didn't choose the man, because as I started to look at it, it became pretty obviously they wouldn't choose any man based on what I just told you. They couldn't choose any man. But we're going to talk about how they even got this far and why they didn't choose men. I know what they're going to say why they didn't do it, but I'm going to tell you why they really didn't do it. The first person I want to talk about is the most obvious one, which is Delicious. She's obvious. She thinks she's hiding in plain sight. She's not. Everybody sees her. Delicious believes that she's actually out here fooling people, that she isn't a person who leads with her body. Delicious London, if you listen to her words, they don't line up with what she does. I often say this about men. When I tell women, when you're dating, don't listen just to what the men say. Watch what they do. If their movements don't match what they say, then don't trust it. Always trust what you see them doing. If you have to choose between what they say and what they do, choose what they do. And then Delicious London situation, she wanted to try to say she was London. You know, she wants to go by London name, London. You see, that's to throw you off track. That's for her to say that she's more than just a sexy vixen. She's more than just these big tatas, these big booty. She's more than that. She's got a brain and she's smart. These are the things that she's saying to you. And thus she wants you to treat her that way. She doesn't want you to treat her like a sex object. This is what she says. But if you watch what she does, it's actually the complete opposite. She dresses overly sexy. Sometimes she's darn near naked. She leads with her body. She doesn't actually have any intellectual conversation with the men at all. So where is the brain, London Delicious? Because she doesn't bring it out. What she brings out are her tatas, her butt, her sexiness, her vixenness. That's what she brings out. And when you don't respond to her sexiness, she gets upset. She gets very upset. You know, starting in episode, the number 7 or 6 of what I was talking about, it started when the white guy, Zach, went home. Now, a lot of people may be saying, I don't even really know why Zach was even still here with London. And the reason why Zach was still here is because part of London's sexiness is she wants to conquer you with it. She wants to be able to sort of turn you out. Because and remember, in London's world, her most prized part about her is her sexiness. I know she wants to say she believes it's her brain, but that's not what she really believes. That's what she says. But what she really believes is her real value is in her body. Another thing that she lies about is she says that she's a giver. She's a people pleaser. That's what she says she is. She's a people pleaser. But the only way that Delicious or London wants to people please is she wants to please you with her body. That's it. Any other way in London's life, she really wasn't trying to show up as a people pleaser. The only way she was trying to please these men was giving them something to look at, something to touch, and something to hold on to. And if they did not respond to it, she got angry with them. And what Zach represented in the beginning was Zach represented innocence. Zach was a preacher. He was a man of God. He's the last person that should be with a Delicious or London, which is why in the end he took his ass on home, because he knew there was no way I could bring home a London Delicious to Beaverton or Oregon, which is where he was from. There was no way he could bring her home. And the thought of bringing her home darn near made him sick, made him get some high blood pressure and had to go home. You see, because he knew this was never going to happen. This over here was Zach dipping over to the world of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's where he was. He was in Sodom and Gomorrah with homegirl London Delicious, and she was happy that she could lure him there. Samson and Delilah, right? That's power. Delicious is London's, and that's why I'm going to keep calling her Delicious, because I know she wants us to call her London, but she's not London. She's Delicious. And that's where she thinks her power is. And what she does is she uses her power to draw men unto her. And what Zach represented was a challenge. How do I draw this man who's a man of God, who lives in Beaverton, Oregon? He's this white straight-laced guy. How do I lure him in? And she used her body. And any time he did not respond to her body, like that time he didn't lean in and kiss her, she got upset with him. Even this time when he got sick and he was bona fide sick, she thought, oh, you're not sick. You just don't want to come up here and be with me. Wow, you done changed this man's sickness to be about you, Delicious? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because in London's mind is, why are you not coming over here to be with me? She was upset. She gets upset. She gets mad when you don't respond to her body. In the end, the reason why she chose Zeus over Tracy, she kept saying it was because Tracy wouldn't open up. Tracy wouldn't open up. No, it was because Tracy refused to only deal with her in a sexual way. When he was giving her small little kisses and small little pecks, she was okay with that at first, but she wanted more. Like she told her family, I want to be drilled. Drilled. And I don't mean like drill you with a bunch of questions. Drilled. Pound, drilled, because that's how London Delicious feels loved. She feels loved when you're so consumed with her that you're willing to drill her and you want her so badly, you're willing to overlook everything else. This is what London wants from you. Like I said, she was so interested in Zach because she wanted Zach to give up his love of God, darn near. Give up God for me. Forget about God. Don't you want this body? Don't you want this body? Tracy, who was so reserved, trying to treat her respectfully. In the end, you know what she wanted him to do? She wanted him to treat her just like Zeus started treating her, like an object. Because then she started to feel loved. You see, Zeus figured it out. Remember, there was a time when Zeus and Tracy were neck and neck. But once Zeus figured out, wait a minute, here I was over here treating you respectfully, not trying to treat you like a sex object. And I come to find out that you kissed Tracy on the lips. Well, shoot, I might as well start coming at you like I come at like the hoes on the street. And I will come start to lead with all the sexiness, all the sex, everything. And the minute he started treating London Delicious like that, guess what? She responded, she lit up, and in the end, she chose him. She told us she was London. She told us she didn't want to be just known for her body. But in the end, she chose the man who started treating her the very way she wanted to be treated, which she wanted to be treated by, I want you to want my body. And let me tell you, I don't know if you guys picked up on this other little thing she continued to do. Every time London made out with a man, anytime she kissed Tracy, anytime she hugged on Zach, anytime she hugged on Zeus, she would do this little thing. And the little thing she would do to them is say, hey, I know I just kissed you, but don't go back and tell the other guy that we did it. Don't go back and tell him. Really what she was saying was, I want you to go back and tell him. Because what she wanted that jealousy to rise up in the other men so they would also start coming at her. You see what I'm saying? One time she actually even told him to go back and tell him. One time I think she was kissing on Tracy. She told Tracy, go back to the lounge and tell Zach that we were kissing. Tell him that, we was really making out. And Tracy's like, well, we really weren't making out, though. This was before they even kissed. He goes, but we really weren't even making out, though. She goes, yeah, but I want you to tell Zach anyway. Why? Because at the time, she was trying to lure Zach into her, and he wasn't going for it. And she wanted to find a way to make him jealous that would make him come into her. And she was trying to use Tracy to do it. So in that moment, she gave Tracy a little kiss on the lips so he could go back to the men's lounge and say, now tell Zach, because what I really want Zach to do is to come at me. You see? And so then when she kissed Tracy, she used that to lure Zeus in, and Zeus took the bait. He said, okay, is that what you want? Is that what you want, London Delicious? And she said yes. She didn't say it, but her body said yes. What's the old Sweet Set song? My mind says no, but my body My body say yes. In the beginning of the show, I talked about a lot how Delicious loved the leftovers of K. Michelle, because remember, K. Michelle is a slow burner. She's highly scrutinizing every single man. She was a slow burner. And then the minute that K. Michelle said no to a guy, didn't want a guy or toss him aside, who was there to come over and try to swoop up that man and draw him into her body? It was Delicious London. That's what she did. Even with Zach initially early on, he was a throwaway. The Chris guy early on was a throwaway, K. Michelle. Because Delicious wants men to want her. And as much as she wants to sit out here and say she's London and she wants to be thought of by her brain and how sweet she is, in the end, she really did act like the same old Delicious. And that is, she says she wants to be loved and respected as this type of woman, but her body, her actions say completely different. So am I surprised that she was the one of all the ladies to say yes in the end? No, I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised because she performed a character. And she's going to go home. She's going to go to bed with Zeus. They're going to go ahead and have some rendezvous around in the sheets, and then it's going to end. Because in the end, Zeus, London Delicious is not even the woman for Zeus. She's not. Not too many men want that woman outside of the bedroom. That's the whole problem. A lot of men want that woman for a night or two, a month or two, 6 months or two, but they don't want that woman for a lifetime. And if they do take a chance on marrying her, what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to change her. Because I think she is a nice person. I don't think that she treats people poorly. You know, I think she has that, but she has this one thing with her body. And if you're married to her, you would have to accept that she's going to do this out in the world. She says she just does it on movies, but no, she doesn't. She does it everywhere. So you would have to be the type of man that knows that your wife, Delicious London, is never going to be, she's never going to be safe and secure and happy with just your love and your admiration. She needs the constant attention from men around her body. And if you're a man, you would have to know that. And that's why her relationships fall apart. She thinks it's because of the man, but it's really who she shows up in the relationship. So it really doesn't matter what man she gets. Because if she keeps showing up as the same person that needs the constant attention of men, she's going to get the same outcomes. You can't just keep getting a different man, but then being the same type of woman. She's realized that, so what if you get a pastor or a preacher? You're still the same woman. So what if you get a man who only wants you for your body? You're still the same woman. So as a result, you're going to get the same outcomes. And that is London Delicious's problem. Now, we're going to move on to K. Michelle. K. Michelle, like I said, different men, same outcomes. K. Michelle, when she came on here, we know she's traumatized from dating. She's admitted it. She said it to us. She said she's got issues with it. But what she says is that, well, what she doesn't say about her trauma is she's now associated all the bad men with particular subsets. I think she's associated the bad men with men in the industry, so either singers, rappers, people in the industry, right? That's one of her subsets. I don't think she wants to date that person anymore. I think K. Michelle has decided that, hey, I've been done wrong by these men in the entertainment world. I don't want to deal with them anymore. So now what I want to deal with is just like an ordinary businessman. I think that's whom K. Michelle wants, right? So she's decided I'm going to keep dating a different type of man. So that's the one subset she wants to do differently. The next subset she wants to do differently is she's come to believe that white men are more benign. So she goes into relationships with white men with her guard down because she doesn't look at them as maybe as dangerous as black men. She is absolutely attracted to the physical outside of black men, but she's attracted to, in her mind, what is the benign parts of what she thinks is a white man. It's no different from a lot of people when they date. Interracially, they've associated certain characteristics with that race, right? It's not necessarily that they think the outwardness of that race is the most attractive. It's the characteristics that they think that go along with that race. Sometimes you see black men date white women. They love black women's body. They love the way black women look, but they are attracted to what they think is the inside of a white woman, and that's what they really want. If they could get the inside of a white woman, but the outer beauty, the black body, the black part of the black woman, the one that they find attractive, that's really their sweet spot. Like I just said, even some women who used to date men who were abused by men or victimized by men, all of a sudden you find out that they're gay, and now they only want to deal with women, because even though, they may like men, they didn't have a problem with the outer part of men. They don't want to deal with what they figure is a behavior of a man. So now all of a sudden they're dating women. I mean, in the beginning, K. Michelle wasn't even going to choose a black man. If she could, she would have chosen all white men. She chose Zach. She chose Chris. And eventually, as time went on, she ended up eliminating some of these men for the very reason she would eliminate black men. Remember, she eliminated Chris because Chris was egotistical. He was abrasive. He was loud, which could be a characteristic of a black man or a white man. So she believed initially that he wouldn't be that way, but she found out that, wow, he can be just as abrasive and mean as a black man, so let me get rid of him. She did it. Then she dated Zach, but the minute she found out that Zach was somewhat torn between her and London and Delicious, she got rid of him. So in a lot of ways, what she got spooked with Zach was almost like cheater vibes. You're with me, but yet you're looking over here at Delicious. She don't want no part of that. She don't want no cheater. She don't want no man with a wandering eye that's going to be lured away from this sex vixen over here. So she got rid of Zach too, because he didn't represent safety to her. The reason why Ben stuck around all this time was he was safety. He was safety. And he was safety with her heart. She knew from the very beginning that he wasn't a match for her because he don't want to have no kids. He's 51 years old. K. Michelle wants more children. This man don't want no more children. He don't want to adopt. He don't want to do none of it. So why was K. Michelle keeping him on the show? And of all the men that she connected with the most, you know who she connected with the most? She connected the most with Ben because he was her safety net. He was what made her feel safe. And in the end, that's what she's looking for the most. But the Ben did not have the other parts that would make her be able to be in a relationship with him. He was 51 years old and didn't want any children. But she cried all the time for Ben because Ben touched her soul. What Ben was on the inside was exactly what K. Michelle wanted. Is what she wanted. But the problem is it didn't come in the package that she wanted, which is, I know she talked about how she loved his arms. I know she said that. And she did love his arms. But if those arms would have been on a black man and that black man would have had the insides of Ben and a younger age, that's who K. Michelle would have really wanted. But guess what? She would have been afraid of that man. She would have been afraid of the man with the inside and the arms because she wouldn't have trusted him the way she trusted Ben. She came into the relationship with Ben with a trusting of him because he was white. The trust that K. Michelle had in Ben and the fact that she wasn't on guard with Ben was because he was white. Ben was almost like he got extra points and he didn't even have to do anything. He never had to prove himself. He never had to prove that he wasn't a dog. All the other men that K. Michelle, the black men, the Nash and the Andre, they had to prove to K. Michelle that they weren't a dog. Ben never had to prove it. You see, K. Michelle actually got Andre all wrong. All wrong. What K. Michelle did was she looked at Andre and she said, you're the type of guy, looks wise, and the way you talk that I've been burned by. Right? So what she did was she summed up Andre without really even knowing him. Now, because Ben was a smooth talker too. He said a lot of nice things. But why were the things that Ben said nice? Why didn't K. Michelle look at them as I should be cautious? Why did she just believe Ben? But when Andre said these nice things, she didn't believe Andre. because Andre's outside package looked like the type of things that burned her in the past. It's just like I said with gay women who were with men. They think it's the man that's the problem, and then they find out, guess what? Gay women can be abusive too. Gay women can cheat on you too. Gay women can do all the things that you thought only men do. Right? So have you really won? And when I say that she got Andre all wrong, I'm going to say this about Andre. She was really spooked when Andre brought that woman to the show. That woman that she correctly identified that was in love with Andre. That woman was in love with Andre. She was right about that. And, but what she didn't understand was why didn't Andre know it? And why was Andre hanging around this woman? Because that woman was Andre's safe space. Just like Ben is yours. You see, Andre and K. Michelle are actually the same person. They're both slow burners and hard to open up. That's why she got rid of Andre, because he was a slow burner. In the end, the person K. Michelle should have chosen was Andre. Andre was the one that told you, I don't have any kids. And someone said, well, why don't you have any kids? He says, because I'm responsible. Right? She assumed that Andre is a player out here in these streets. But why did she assume that? Because he was good looking and he admitted that women go after him and like him. But what about Andre's life? Where did he say he runs women? Where was the evidence that he ran women? There was none. And in the end, she took his secretiveness, the fact that he didn't open up to her, she took that as a negative. Well, you don't open up, Michelle, K. Michelle. Does that mean you're a liar? You just said you're a slow burner. Does that mean you're a liar? But what she associated with Andre that he was a slow burner was that he was also a liar and he was hiding things and he was just too smooth. There was no evidence of it. And when this girl came and she saw this woman who was like, well, wait a minute. Here you have this woman and you seem to both be vibing. Why aren't you together? And what he was trying to tell Michelle was, I'm not attracted to this woman. I'm not attracted to her. I don't want to be with her. Now, did the woman probably harbor some secret feelings for him? I think she did. I think she did because she relished in the fact that she knew so much about him. She walked around with it like a badge of honor. That's what she did. I didn't like that. That's told me that she was in love with that man. But I'm not here for who she is. I'm here for who Andre is. And what it told me about Andre was this, that woman was his safe space. He relished in the fact that he had a person he could talk to, that he could open up to. And he actually let it slip. He said to himself, which sounded kind of crazy, he said, I've only known this woman for, a couple of years. If I can open up to this woman and let this woman get to know me to this level, what Andre was saying is maybe I could do that with a woman who I really love. And what he doesn't realize is the reason why he was able to open up to that woman was because she was a safe space and he didn't feel like he could get hurt by her because he wasn't attracted to her. You can't get hurt by a person who you're not physically attracted to. So what Andre has told himself is, I'm going to practice with this lady. I'm going to practice learning how to open up to a woman. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this show on the road. And then I'm going to open up with a woman who I'm really attracted to. But it don't work that way, Andre, because you open up to a woman that you're really not attracted to. It was a safe space. It's what K. Michelle did. I'm going to open up and build an attraction with Ben because I don't really want to be with Ben. I know Ben's not really going to be with me, but then I'm going to feel like I'm feeling a real authentic experience. And what she felt was real with Ben. She felt it to her core, but she could never choose Ben because Ben ain't really what she wants on the outside in the whole package. It was that part of him that she wanted. She cried for Ben. She even cried for a femme. She craves the sweet guy. That's whom K. Michelle craves, but the sweet guy don't come in the other package that she always wants. The outer package that she wants, the sweet guy doesn't come in that. And the same thing that Andre was doing. He was with that woman because that woman was a safe space. He was using that woman just like K. Michelle used Ben. But in the end, she sent Andre home because what Andre told her, when Andre saw the connection she was making with Ben, the heartfelt connection, Andre noticed it more than any other man because it's what he desires too. He saw her getting what she wanted, and he knew that's what he wanted, and he knew he didn't have it with her because they are two slow burners and neither one of them opened up. But had they given their relationship time, they would have opened up eventually over time, and I think they should have chosen each other. And what she asked him, Andre, if I had to choose a man who was right for me, who would I choose? Who did Andre say she should choose? Ben. And she looked at it as a negative. She said, if you can't advocate for yourself, then why would I advocate for you? Because you know what he just did, K. Michelle? He advocated for you. He actually chose your well-being over his own, but you didn't even see it. He sacrificed himself so that you could be happy. But yet this is the man that you say is the dog, the man out in the street who's going to take advantage of you. No, this man fell on his sword and said, hey, I see the connection you have with Ben, and I know you want that heartfelt connection, and I will die, I will bow out, I will fall on my sword because I'd rather you be happy. He destroyed himself so you could be happy. Isn't that the guy you want? The guy that's willing to look out for your happiness over his own? But K. Michelle missed it. Because from the very beginning, she never trusted Dre. Why? Because he was good looking and he was smooth. And I don't know. I think he had been in the industry. She summed him up over all these things. Oh, he was in the industry. He's good looking. He's smooth. He got a woman hanging around. Next thing I know, he's probably banging this woman in the background. She thought all negative stuff about Dre and none of it was true. None of it. She missed it. So like I said, dating different men, but being the same old person, being the exact same person, she's not going to get any different outcome until she decides to be different, not just dating different men, but be different. And in the end, she said no to Ben because he don't want no kids. And she said yes to Nash. Nash, who has told her, I want a more domesticated woman. I want a woman who's cooked. I'm Nigerian. Where, when, how? And what she's saying is, well, maybe we can get to know each other a little bit better. Why do you need to know any more about Nash? Why? Why do you need to know any more about him? You don't fit. Even Andre said, you don't fit with Nash. He didn't tell her to her face, but the reason why he knew it, because of all the men, Andre knew K. Michelle the best and the most. And she never saw it. The one that she was the most fearful of is the one that knew her the best and the one that would have protected her heart the best. And she didn't choose him. So like I said, you want to say you want to date different men, but you're showing up being the same old woman, the same old woman. And now we move on to Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray, same old moves. Different men showing up in the relationship the same way. First of all, let's get this straight. I know she's also done this recent interview with Carlos King. I didn't watch the interview. I saw snippets of it. I saw her basically saying the same old line she's been saying all her life, which is, why do I want to be with a broke man? I live a certain life. Why do I want to do that to you? Her family got in here talking about if she goes into a jewelry store. First of all, how the hell does Lisa Marie have all this money? Lisa Ray is not no A-list actor, okay? Is she broke? No. Does she have millions? Yes. But is she like worth $10 million, $20 million? No, absolutely not. Again, watch what people do. Don't just watch what they say. And if you know anything about Lisa Ray, if you ever watched Lisa Ray when she was on Fix My Life with Iyanla Vanzant, you learned a lot about Lisa Ray. And Lisa Ray can say all what she wants to say about her, but when she was on Fix My Life with Iyanla Vanzant, she had very strained relationship with her daughter and her mother. I know she's crying on this show because she lost her mother, and most people would, but she didn't have a good relationship with her mother. Okay? And we also learned early in this episode that she was hurt over the fact that her daughter had, not purposely aborted a child and she didn't know about it. She was not really close with her daughter at the time. I think their relationship is a lot better, right? Lisa Ray has not had good relationships with people. Iyanla Vanzant told her, When you got problems with everyone who's close to you, you the problem. That's Lisa Ray. Lisa Ray doesn't actually connect with people on the emotional level. Lisa Ray only connects with people on like this sort of level, and I'm going to say just with men over money. She chooses men with money, period. Let's be real about it. So she came to this show the same type of way. But what Lisa Ray has associated with men with money is that they're cheaters, they're liars, and they're going to do it wrong. That's what they associated. So she came on this show trying to think, well, maybe I could meet a man who's going to treat me right, and he may not have so much money. And that's what she really wants, because she really does want love, but she doesn't know how to love outside of money. And in the end, she ended up being the same old woman. She rejected both of these men because they didn't have enough money. That's the way she reasoned reject. I mean, there's going to be some variations, and we're going to talk about it. But where did this all start with from Lisa Ray? It started with Lisa Ray. The way you got to understand Lisa Ray is you got to know where it started. And it started with Lisa Ray from her childhood. Lisa Ray was born into a family of where I think the father had a lot of money. I don't know what the father did. Be honest with y'all, I kind of want to say her father was into like drugs or something. That's what I want to say. I could be wrong. I don't want to mess it up too much. But I know that Lisa Ray, she says she's a daddy's girl. Her father gave her anything she wanted. But her father was murdered. And when her father was murdered, the family lost all their wealth. So here was the father, the patriarch of the family, making all the money, providing for Lisa Ray, her sisters, and her mother, and they lived a luxurious life. And when that father died, or when he was murdered, all the money went away. So that's why I think whatever he was into, I think it was sort of illicit, because if he were like a real businessman, that wealth would have continued in the family. They still would have been provided for. They would have had, insurance money, something. But it tells me that whatever the father was into, I think it was illicit. And when he got murdered, the money went away and they became poor. And the mother could not survive without the money. And she really went downhill. I think the mother became suicidal. I think she might have either got on drugs or alcohol. She just took a dive. And she became, their lives just got turned upside down. And I think from that moment on, Lisa Ray said in her mind, I never want to be poor. Remember, Lisa Ray was born into money and she became poor. And from then on out, I think Lisa Ray decided, I'm never going to be poor again. And what she realized, what she equated with money was love. She felt loved by her father because he gave her money. She probably was feeling loved by her mother when her mother was also benefiting in the money. But once the money went away from the family and the mother had a hard time, guess what probably also left Lisa Ray's life? Money. So Lisa Ray, in her mind, she equates love and money. She can't separate the two. So when she's on this show saying she's looking for love, she can't separate money from love. So no matter if she finds a man who she loves or could fall in love with, she won't be able to be with him if he don't have no money and not enough money. You see, because when you have an empty hole, a hole in your cup, it's not even about having money, because the two men she chose in the end seemed to be very financially stable, but it wasn't enough. You see, Lisa Ray really liked David. That's who she really liked. He was the best combination for her. But the problem with David is, yeah, he's a tech VP. Yeah, he's got 6 figures, but he ain't making 8, 9. That was figures what Lisa Ray wants. You see, Lisa Ray equates money with love. And who doesn't want more love in their life? So if you want more love in your life, you know what else you need? You need more money in your life. Don't believe anything Lisa Ray is talking around here, talking about she wants love with absence of you just need to be able to afford my lifestyle. What lifestyle, Lisa Ray? You're not worth $20 million. You're not worth $20 million. Lisa Ray act like she's running around renting private planes and private jets. No, she might have got used to that when she was married to that man in Turks and Caicos, right? That shyster, that fraudster who defrauded his entire island, stole from the entire island, and Lisa Ray was right there willing to accept all that money while that man was fleecing that island from Turks and Caicos as a prime minister. She was on Carlos King, running around still talking about how Michael Strahan's ex-wife was cheating with her husband. She said Dwayne Martin stole her husband. Because who did she marry when she married that man? She married his money. She didn't marry his character. That's what she was in love with. The private jets, the lavish lifestyle. She wasn't into the character of the man. She was into the man's money, because what she equated with the money was love. Lisa Ray don't know how to be in love with no one that doesn't have any money, and she can sit around all she wants and try to justify it and talk about because she wants a man to match her lifestyle. What lifestyle, Lisa Ray? You don't have some big lifestyle out here that a man can't match. These men on this show, especially Booker, I believe could have matched her lifestyle. I do. I believe it. I believe it. But it's not what she wanted. You see, Booker was serious about his money, real serious about his money. And what Lisa Ray said was he don't know how to have no fun. Because a lot of people who got wealth, Lisa Ray, have to work for the wealth. Lisa Ray, what? I'm not saying Lisa Ray don't work and she don't work hard. But what I'm saying is a lot of men that have wealth that didn't get it from being the prime minister and fleecing an island, or didn't get it from some illicit way like maybe her father did selling drugs, they got to work for it. And what Booker was telling her was, I work hard for this money, and I got a lot of people who depend on me for this money. And what Lisa Ray was saying was, well, you got a lot of money depending on your money. I don't want that because I want all your money. See, Lisa Ray don't want to share the money of that man with other people, because that's what Booker was saying. People depend on him. Lisa Ray was saying, nobody don't depend on me no more. Lisa Ray was trying to say, I'm trying to stop people from depending on me. She don't want her daughter depending on her for money. She was tired of her mama depending on her for money. When her mama was alive, she hated the fact that her mama depended on her for money. Now that her mama is dead, she happy about it. She don't want to be with a Booker who, even though he got money, he got people depending on his money, because Lisa Ray wants all the money. The money is security for Lisa Ray. She wants it all. She don't want no Booker. She wanted to say it was because of fun. It was because she didn't want to she wanted a man who made fast money, easy money, who had enough of it, and who would give it all to her. Because the more money you give to her, the more secure she feels. The more, and she has a good net worth. She can afford her lifestyle. She can have fun, but she's running around here talking about what she's missing is love. Girl, you not missing love. You missing money. More money, more money. Like I said, saying she wants something different, she don't want nothing different. She want a different man, but she want to be the same exact woman. David, she really did fall in, I don't want to say love, but she really fell for David. She loved his charm. She loved that fast talking that he did. She loved that about him. You know, but David didn't have the kind of money that she really wants. David lived somewhere else. She knew that. And as much as she wanted to say, I really want to choose David, I really want to be a different woman, in the end, she said she realized she couldn't choose him because he didn't have enough money. Let's be honest. He didn't have enough money. But these ladies are never going to find who they're really looking for, because they're showing up the same way in the relationships. And until they start taking more ownership of their own outcomes, then they're not going to have different outcomes. Right now, they're not taking enough ownership of who they are. Instead, what they're focusing on is who are the men and who they are choosing. They're focusing on their decision making and choosing the man, but they're not also focusing on who they are and how they show up in those relationships. Because who they are and how they show up in the relationship also determines whether or not the relationship can be successful. Because even if they choose differently, if they show up the same person, they're going to have the same outcomes. And that's what they're missing. So it's sad to see them in this cycle, and it's sad to see that they haven't figured it out. But maybe they need to get with a therapist, a psychotherapist. I know they had a psychotherapist on this show. And I think the psychotherapist did do some work, as much work as you can do, sitting with a person for, 30 minutes. But I'm sure that psychotherapist has the tools to really get down and dirty with it. But maybe they need more sessions. Maybe they need more sessions to hear the hard truth. It's really not about who you're choosing, it's who you are. And until you're willing to face that you're going to get the same outcomes until you want to change who you are, then you're just going to get the same outcomes. You're just going to get the same outcomes. But that's it. That's all I got, y'all. We finished Queen's Court. We finished it. We're done. And that's all I got. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will talk to you later. Bye.